And you just heard Zoe there on the call of Friday night's preseason opener against the Commanders. Were you ready for that kickoff return for a touchdown?
Well, you shift over, and I'm doing not the play-by-play, but I'm running point there, and you're still shuffling your stuff, getting your cards ready for like your first read in the first quarter, and boom, it's right out of the gate. You had to identify because I knew Gibson was back there with him, and I'm like, oh crap, that's Henderson. And I knew it once he started hitting the 20, and I threw it over to Devin because Devin just got done. And he opened talking about the speed of the guy, and these next-gen stats and that. And holy crap, McComb, the game is what the game is. They didn't play their starters.
Yeah.
We all know that. You have to acknowledge that, and I think you have to accept that. Everybody's going to handle preseason games differently. Jaden Daniels and crew did not play. We'll get to everything throughout the course of the game. I didn't care about the score. We don't. You want to win games, but it's not, they blew them out. No, they didn't blow them out. They worked hard. I think the team played hard. It felt like football was back. The whole night, the turning of the page, sort of, with the Brady unveiling of the statue. Vrabel being the new head coach, again, another new head coach. You just wanted them to come out and play representative football, and I think they did that. I thought the effort was there, and everything we've seen from practice, the energy, now, we didn't see physicality in practice because you can't coach physicality in practice because you can't hit, can't go to the ground. I was pretty impressed with their physicality all night. We talked last week or the week before. What was it? We asked the question on the show. What's the strongest group on the offensive side of the ball? And I think we all agreed probably receiver because there's questions about the offensive line. You didn't know what the backs are going to be. The running back position may be the strongest group position on the offense. I was pretty surprised by that. I'm surprised by the speed of Gibson on a return, 62-yard return. We know he runs hard. I saw that here calling games. I'm glad he's back because I think if Ramondre gets nicked up and it's an ankle or knee, Gibson's going to be the guy. He'll be your bell cow. But, man, the possibilities with Henderson.
He's a fun player, huh?
Holy Jesus. I didn't know he was this fast. Because you don't really see it in practice. Because everybody runs. They get through the line, and they had that drill where they all run down to the goal line. That's kind of what the running backs do. We want to get them in shape and all that. But that doesn't translate in practice. Translated in the game, he blew doors. Two guys had angles on him.
Yep.
And 100-yard return, great way to start the game. I think he got the crowd into it. The crowd was great for a preseason game. It was a fun game to watch, fun game to call.
Yeah, Henderson, to me, obviously an exciting play. It wasn't just the kickoff return, by the way. He had the 18-yard run, had some catches as well. He is an explosive player. And
the reason I say the running back position is the strongest is they were productive runs. But Henderson on two of them, he lowered the right shoulder, then he lowered the left, and they were both boom plays, running defensive backs over. Ramondre did it. That's the old Ramondre from 2 years ago, looking for contact, second-level contact, getting to the safety, trying to run that over, hit and spin. Gibson the same way. They physically ran the ball hard. And I thought they blocked well up front.
Yeah, I thought it was a great night for Mike Vrabel and just what he's trying to build. And that was kind of my biggest takeaway. Like you said, look, Washington, I think 30 players didn't play for him, including their top two quarterbacks.
Not their fault. No, not their fault or not New England's fault. You just got to go out and play.
But the physicality, like you mentioned. And then the other thing, too, was it was a clean game for the Patriots as well. I think it wound up being 2 penalties for 15 yards. I know there was some offsetting, but overall, versus what we saw last year, do you remember that preseason game where Chooks had those 3 straight penalties called? And you're like, oh, what are we doing? It felt like the operation was way tighter last night than what we'd seen in previous seasons.
I remember being out in Vegas 2 years ago. They had joints out in Vegas and had a preseason game, and Josh said he's not going to play all their starters. The starters are not going to play. Bill Newton acknowledged it and played his starters. They look like crap. They're going to look like crap 2 years ago. This is different. And I kept talking about it throughout the game, too. Watching the sideline. Watch the sideline during the games. Watch the coaches coach. That's something you watch. It's nonstop. It's Drake with Josh McDaniels. They're into the tablet. You got 2 offensive assistants helping Doug Marrone up and down with the offensive line. Jeremy Springer, we got to give him credit. He's a carryover from a year ago. That doesn't really happen.
Yeah.
But the whole special teams unit was ready to go. Whether you're in a return game, kicking game, you name it. They were ready to go. How about the 57-yarder? Whew.
Yeah. Kicking competition.
So we ended up finding out that the 58-yarder from Gostowski is the stadium record. So he almost had the stadium record there. I know it's preseason, but
I'm surprised Chad Ryland didn't wind up with that. So
sure,
look,
yeah.
physicality, clean game overall. I also think when you kind of look at this, the foundation with this draft, what it could potentially be here for the Patriots, is huge in terms of this rebuild as well. Your whole left side of the line are going to be rookies. You've got a running back that appears to have some real explosiveness that you're going to be relying on. I thought you saw 2 rookie receivers, by the way. I know Williams didn't have a catch, but he was getting open on a consistent basis. Chisholm, obviously. It just feels like overall right now, the foundation's starting to be laid. And one of the bigger things to me, too, was also Javon Baker. And I know he didn't have a catch, but the contributions on special teams and then what Vrabel had to say about him post-game. Here, take a listen.
Javon Baker made a couple of special teams tackles, and I thought you were encouraged by that on the sideline. But is it good to see someone who's trying to contribute in more than one phase in terms of trying to make the team?
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. When you have players, and especially receivers, that can create a role and they can help you and they can be big and physical and everything that we see out of Javon as a receiver, when you can embrace that and they can embrace that as special teams players, guys that are big and physical and fast and willing, that translates to special teams. So excited and just happy for Javon, just being able to go out there and contribute. And when you do those things, your teammates get excited, and hopefully his confidence continues to grow.
Look, I don't know if he's going to make the teams, though. I have no idea. But when I look at that and I look at what happened last year and the issues in London, remember where who knows what happened in that situation?
Bad traffic.
Couldn't line up in the right spot, had no idea what was going on, versus what we see now in the buy-in, even on special teams from this player. It just tells me that the message that Vrabel has right now is resonating with some of these younger players, and I think Javon Baker is example A of that.
It's the Parcells angle that I've talked about. Because everybody says, well, was he like Bill, meaning Vrabel? And I said, no, I think he's more Parcells-like, knowing how to push 53 guys different buttons, and especially with this guy, number 6. And there were reports early in the offseason, Vrabel kind of took him under his wing and was pushing him. And I think good coaches sense that. Like, if I see this kid that he needs some confidence building, I got to get on him. Some guys I can't bust balls with, but supposedly he breaks balls with this guy, Baker. And the more and more you look at this day by day, he keeps burying Polk. Not he. I mean, I'm just talking about whatever receiver gets opportunities. You mentioned Chisholm. You mentioned Baker. Williams. Williams is going to make the team. Third-round pick. Polk slides further and further down. I know you had the audio there of Vrabel. And Vrabel also said in the postgame, he gave the report on, but he's like, he didn't finish the game. Polk went to the sideline, didn't finish the game. I know he's hurt, but you can't make the club in a tub. No. That's a Parcells thing.
Yeah. So there's issues there, but I just think you're getting buy-in. I think you're seeing a clean operation overall, a physical football team. And again, I just think that was another example. When you combine that with a joint practice where you kind of looked like you belonged on the same field with Washington, the foundation for this organization is sort of being laid right now, and you're seeing sort of the fruits of that already. 617-779-0985. I do want to get your thoughts on Drake Maye coming up here, Zoe. I do. Barely played, did have a turnover. Also, your thoughts on that rookie left side. Mike Reese had this in his notes. First time, I think it is since 2016 that you're going to have a team that has both players on the left side of the line as rookies in game one. Is that a good spot to be in if you're the New England Patriots? We'll get your thoughts on that as well. Of course, we'll get to your phone calls as well.
Is that play right there just reminded me of the at Miami game where he got a little rattled in the pocket. And, can't afford that first drive. Can't. Bounce back nicely second drive, but you're coming out of the gate right there at home. First series, year 2. Everybody's talking about you. The rise, the jump, all that. This is your team now. He's got to be smarter there, and I thought Vrabel was great. Accountability at the end of the game.
Yeah, he did not hold back. Vrabel did not hold back.
That's one thing, man, we are going to get – I know you're not going to get a ton of information, but I think you're at least going to get answers that you can sit there and talk about. Like, okay, Vrabel sees it, Vrabel gets it. He's going to communicate that with the team. Drake knows that. Josh is going to get on him for that. Can't have that. Can't have those type of plays.
So turnovers were a problem last year for Drake Maye, right? And then started camp, no interceptions.
Well, you're part of a bad team, too. And I'm not making excuses for him, but you had tough situations all around.
I agree with you, by the way. There were plenty of turnovers that took place last year where I don't even think you can put them necessarily on him for what took place.
I remember Aikman had him, Manning had him their first years, and they got the bleep kicked out of them.
So what's your level of concern with the turnovers right now for Drake Maye? Now, we saw 2 in the scrimmage on Friday, and then you had 1 in that opening drive right now.
I don't think it's a forefront issue. but it's something they have to really clean up, and he's got the right coordinator and quarterback coach with him. Like, you harp on that, and it's repetition. And Vrabel will get on his ass. That's the same way Parcells would get on our ass. Same thing. Belichick would do it too. Like, and right there, it happened so quick. And you're thinking, okay, is the arm going forward? I thought the knee may have been down. No, that ball came out.
Yeah.
They got the call right.
I just look at what took place in that game, what's taken place throughout training camp so far, Zoe. And to me, when we talk about how many wins are the Patriots going to have this year,
you do that, 7.
Yeah. I think the operation itself is going to be clean. I think the coaching staff is doing their part. I think the foundation's sort of been laid in terms of the identity of what this football team is going to be. I think that 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever win, however many wins you think it's going to be, a lot of this is going to come down to Drake Maye, put him on his shoulders, and what's the quarterback going to look like? And if he's turning the ball over like he did there, like you said, the win total is going to be less than what a lot of fans are hoping for.
I think your two most important people in the organization, outside the owner, obviously, the head coach and a good quarterback. You have that combination, you're going to win football games in this league.
Yeah.
And you got to be available. You got to play games. You can't miss snaps. And you got to make smart decisions. And I think for the most part, he will do that. I like him. You know my thoughts on him.
Yeah.
He can't have that. And if that team, with all their starters out, took it and went right in and put 7 on the board, you'd be talking about this being more of an issue. But the defense bailed you out.
So the pressure came on the left side there. So what did you make of Will Campbell and Jared Wilson in their first starts on that left side as rookies?
I thought they had a really good night. I really did. I thought 2 times Campbell pulled outside, and he had a little red ass. He was getting after it. I think he's hearing it. You're human. You're obvious. It's obvious the conversation around him. What's he going to be? The short arms? Is he a run blocker, a pass blocker? Could he handle it himself? I thought his stance was good. His awareness was good. The combination on that left side with 2 rookies, they tag teamed on a couple of run plays that were pretty devastating, which I think Gibson and Ramondre got through on 2 of them. But I thought all in all it was a good night for him. Good start. I don't think he's going to be able to hold up that type of intensity for 17 games. You get to week 2 in Miami. I talked to former offensive linemen. They loved the way he played in the game, but they're like, it wears on you throughout the course of the year. You get sore, you're tired. He goes, I don't think he's going to be able to do that in Miami, running down the field every damn run play. But out of the gate, he's jacked up. First home game. Good for him.
So Mike Reese had this in his Sunday Notes column. He writes, according to ESPN research, the only team to open a season with rookies at left tackle and left guard was the 2016 Baltimore Ravens with Ronnie Stanley and Alex Lewis. So should we be concerned that they're going to be starting this season where it appears with 2 rookies on that left side, Zoe, or do you think that, you know what, that's their best combination, so you go with it?
I mean, just visually, you watch it. I mean, is that better, or is it better with Strange and, Darian Lowe? You drafted this kid number 4 overall to be that guy.
Yeah.
Play him. Get him up and running. And I think, the guard from Georgia, I think they're going to stick him at guard because I think the pressures of playing center early in the career, it's a lot on the table, a lot on his plate with Josh's offense. So I think you want more of the veteran guy. You saw Ben Brown in there. Bradbury, when he's healthy, he's going to be the guy probably. And then they roll with that. I just stick him right at left guard and let him learn it and run it.
Who stood out on the defensive side for you?
Spillane, superhero.
That's your guy, huh?
I mean, the 2 biggest things I take away from just calling the game for 4 quarters, the running backs, the intensity they played with, the physicality, the speed. And if they can run the ball, that's going to help them so much. Oh, my God, it's going to help them a lot. But Spillane, it's just weird seeing 14, in the middle. As a Mike.
I agree with you on that.
So he stands out with the number. But he was playing the mic. He was 7 yards off. He was shooting gaps. He was running left to right. He was getting to the sideline. He's a heat-seeking missile. He tackles. He drops into coverage. That's the first time that's why I was excited to watch him because I haven't really. It doesn't jump out of camp. It doesn't resonate with me because there's so many different drills. But it's good to see him in a game situation. Can't wait to see him again build off that this week.